Long ago, in the deep blue sea, there was a magnificent underwater kingdom. The kind old sea king lived there with his 6 beautiful daughters. The youngest, the Little Mermaid, was the gentlest of all, with a pure heart and an endless curiosity about the world of humans above the waves. Since childhood, she had always asked her grandmother about people, about their shining cities, their great ships, and their colorful gardens filled with flowers. The grandmother would remind her, "My child, humans are very different from us. They walk on legs, not tails, but their lives are short. We merfolk live for 300 years, yet when we die, we turn into sea foam and vanish forever. We have no immortal soul." The Little Mermaid listened, and her longing to see the human world only grew stronger. By the law of the sea, each princess could only rise to the surface when she turned 15. When at last her turn came, the Little Mermaid swam up with her heart beating fast. That night, the sky was clear, and before her eyes lay a splendid ship lit with glowing lanterns. On deck, people sang and danced merrily. Among them, she noticed a young prince with bright eyes and a noble face. Her heart stirred with a strange and powerful feeling she had never known before. Suddenly, a violent storm struck. The waves crashed, the ship broke apart, and the prince was swept into the sea. Without hesitation, the Little Mermaid dove after him, holding him tightly and carrying him to shore. She laid him gently on the sand, gazing at his peaceful face as the morning sun rose. When he stirred and opened his eyes, townsfolk came running to help. Afraid of being discovered, she slipped back into the sea. The prince believed that the maiden he saw beside him on the beach had saved his life, never knowing it was truly the Little Mermaid. From that day on, the Little Mermaid's heart belonged to the prince. She sat for hours on the rocks, dreaming of being by his side, but she knew, with her tail, she could never walk beside him on land. Her longing led her to the dark lair of the sea witch. Inside, the witch cackled, "I can give you human legs, slender and graceful, but in return, you must give me your sweetest treasure, your beautiful voice. And beware, if the prince loves you and makes you his bride, you will gain an immortal soul. But if he marries another, you will turn into sea foam at dawn and be lost forever." The Little Mermaid trembled with fear, but love gave her courage. She agreed, and the witch cut away her voice, handing her a small vial of potion. After drinking the potion, the mermaid fainted in pain. When she awoke on the beach, her tail was gone. In its place were 2 delicate human legs. The prince happened to pass by and found her. He brought her to his palace with kindness. Mute and unable to tell him the truth, she could only show her heart through her eyes and smiles. She walked beside him, listened to him, and filled her days with quiet joy. The prince grew fond of her, yet deep inside, he still longed for the maiden he believed had rescued him on the shore. One day, the king arranged a marriage for his son with a princess from a neighboring land. When the prince met her, he was astonished. She looked just like the girl he thought had saved him. Believing he had found his true savior, he happily agreed to the wedding. The little mermaid's heart shattered. She knew that after the wedding night, the dawn would bring her end. On the eve of the wedding, her sisters rose from the sea to see her. Their long hair had been cut away in exchange for a dagger from the sea witch. They gave it to her, pleading, "If you plunge this knife into the prince's heart before sunrise, his blood will return your tail, and you will live as a mermaid again. You will escape your fate." With tears streaming down her face, she took the knife and crept into the prince's chamber. He lay sleeping peacefully beside his bride. Looking at his gentle face, she realized she could never harm him. The dagger slipped from her hands into the waves below. She stepped onto the deck of the ship, smiling through her tears. As dawn broke, she threw herself into the sea. Her body dissolved into shimmering foam. But then something wondrous happened. She felt herself rising instead of fading. She had become a spirit of the air, one of the daughters of the sky. They whispered, "Because of your pure heart and your great sacrifice, you shall not vanish. You will earn an immortal soul by bringing kindness and love to the world." And so, the little mermaid drifted away as a spirit of the wind, spreading love wherever she went.